Amazing evening to you. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of the show today. It's almost time. I have just less than 30 minutes to do this, but I thought to quickly share your thoughts and reactions on what you thought about the just concluded Edo State election. So, it's been somewhat sort of emotional weekend for a lot of people. But if you remember, if you were part of my life on Saturday, I did say it that the first thing APC would do is to ensure that they first of all announce Okwebala as the winner of the election. I did say that. So now you see, the Edo State APC the governorship candidate has been announced the winner of the election. The rest matter is in court. And who is in court, by the way, that they're going to meet? At the end of the day, who are they going to meet in court? So you see, that's a strategy. But for me, I think that a lot of us are not even ready yet to start battling these election things with these politicians. Because by the time we're ready, we'll be able to start giving them might for might, power for power, rigging for rigging, thuggery for thuggery, because that's the only way we can get it right in this country. Without that, it's going to be very difficult for us to get it. You can imagine what PDP is saying, that they won the election because if you look at the results that were uploaded to IREV, remember when I did live fair on Saturday, at that time about 93% or 92 point something percent of the votes were already uploaded to the IREV portal. And if you look at the number of votes uploaded or the votes that were uploaded on IREV portal, of course you saw that PDP was in a good, was leading gradually. Even though that it was with very slim chances or with very slim margin rather, but PDP was already leading that elections as at the time that it was uploaded. Then you just be wondering that what happened from the time that, or from what was uploaded to IREV to the actual results that INEC announced at the collation center. This is exactly what happened in all the other elections that had been done. This is exactly what is happening now. If you also look at some of the elections that were uploaded in the IREF portal, some of the results rather that were uploaded in the IREF portal, you find out that some of them, the number of registered voters or accredited voters were far different from the number of votes that some of these political parties had. E.g., some of the votes that APC had, and that's part of what formed the allegations that perhaps what they're saying, that the election was rigged. How is it that we deployed technology into our elections and we're still facing the same malpractices issue or election malpractices issue? How is it so? How is it so that we cannot use that same technology to ensure efficiency and credibility of our elections? For me, I just think that as much as some people are very disappointed and they say that they cannot do again and they're tired and they're giving up is not the option, because they actually want you to give up. That's actually the plan. The politicians want you to give up so that you leave the country for them in the mess that they're leaving it in, so that they'll continue in their usual way. But by the time you continue to begin to match them, rigging for rigging, thuggery for thuggery, manipulation for manipulation, things will change. What were you really expecting? An election that had DK's nephew as the electoral officer. What do you expect to happen? Really, it would have been magical if PDP had won the election, even though the PDP candidate is a victim of circumstances, if I have to call him that, because if you look at all the things that happened during the election, the fact that the governor, the sitting governor of the state, whose candidate the PDP governorship aspirant is, had made a lot of enemies. So then, with first of all falling out with Oshimole, of course, whom he had fallen out with since. Remember that Oshimole and Shaibu joined hands in fighting him, together with Wike, joined their hands rather in fighting him in 2020 when the Obaseki contested for his second tenure. But then what happened? The same Obaseki fell out with his deputy. I do understand that falling out because sometimes these things can be funny. Yes, he told his deputy Shaibu that you cannot want to be, who has governorship ambition by the way, that you cannot want to be governor from the same senatorial district where Oshomole is from, for instance, and Oshomole has been governor before. So allow the Esan people to be governor because they have not tested the position before. Of course, some deputies or the deputy in his stubbornness insisted and joined hands in reining PDP in the states. So now there was a fallout with Oshemole, there was a fallout with Shaibu, there was a fallout with the Oba of Benin, which the Edo State Governor Obaseki wouldn't have done at that time. What was his business with trying to keep the artifacts that were collected or brought back from Germany and other foreign nationals back to Edo State? What was he going to do with the artifacts? What was he going to do with it? Everybody knows. Anybody who understands the late Benin Empire, or sorry, the Benin Empire history would know that those artifacts were collected from the palace of the Oba of Benin back in the days. So something that was collected from the palace, you now won't come use that, come put that for government house. As what? To turn government house into a museum? Or what is it? That was the major problem he fell out. And you know that the Benin people are people who don't play with their king at all. So when they noticed that hanky-panky that was about to happen with their king, it became a bit of problem for them. And that is the number one. In fact, I feel that is the greatest undoing of the of Obaseki. And then again, you look at the godfatherism thing. Remember that one of the things that helped Obaseki win his second tenure in 2020, apart from the support of his deputy Shaibu, apart from the support of Wike fighting against Oshemole, there was also the Benin no be Lagos slogan, where they said that no, Oshemole cannot want to impose godfatherism to them there because Benin no be Lagos. But now what do? You anoint a candidate in the person of Aswa Igodalo, and then you want that your anointed candidate to not be the governor. By that means, you also want to crown yourself the same godfather that you refuse Oshemole to be. No. It doesn't work that way now. You look at it, you're gonna check here like that. Because when you check it very well, you realize that it's as if that there are lots of forces against the PDP winning this election. But in the midst of this, I think that the chaos within the PDP, the internal politics within the PDP, is one of the greatest undoing of the PDP itself. Now, the PDP is insisting that they won the election, that APC rigged it, because if you look at the results that were uploaded in IREV, APC did not win from the IREV portal, but they won in real life. That brings us back to the way we conduct our election in this country. I wish you were really ready, because let me tell you the truth. Whatever it is that is playing out now is what will play out in Ondo State. Ondo State is already shouting and saying that they're warning INEC not to even try to rig the election in for their own governorship election, in November, because if they try it, that there will be massive protests. But guess what? Una go protest, una go tire, go back out. If we refuse to come together in one voice to do the needful in this country. No wonder Showore has said that people are tired of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that fearless October protest must hold, and nothing will stop him. Not even with his arrest will stop the fearless October protest. I think that it is when we begin to learn to match our politicians might by might, aura for aura, thuggery for thuggery, manipulation for manipulation, election buying and election rigging for election buying and rigging. That's when we'll get. Let me tell you something. Politics in Africa is too dirty for you to come and claim clean. Maybe that's why Peter Obi may not be, the kind of person that we need to be our savior at this time. Or maybe somebody would just snatch it and grab it and hand it over to Peter Obi. Maybe that's what we expect to happen, because if you want to use gentleman style to win election in Nigeria, with the look of all the things that we've seen happening so far, from the 2023 election that was snatched, grabbed and ran away with it, to the other state elections that happened, the off-season elections of Edo, Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State, you find out that we're not even there yet at all. Like, it'd be like saying that the same thing we'll go see again, because at the end of the day, it looks like all this noise we're making is just coming in and going out of the ears of these politicians. They're not saying you. What they send is to remain in power. So what can you do to ensure that we get it right? We're complaining about INEC, What did they say in 2023 election? Even the INEC chairman himself told you go to court, and you went to court. Who is there? Remember that the person now who's your Chief Justice of the Federation, who's the Chief Justice of the country, is the same woman who conducted or presided over the election that saw Hope Uzodinma of Imo State as governor. The person who was number 4 candidate is now the governor of the state. How she came about that judgment is still a mystery to a lot of people. That was the same judgment that perhaps that people are attributing to what led her to getting visa denial to the United States. Not just her, she and some other people, according to those sources, she and some other people who presided over that election were denied visa to the United States. Now, this is the same person who's the Chief Justice of your country right now. So with this person as your Chief Justice, if, for instance, Obaseki, Aswa Odalo decide to go to court against Okpebholo, what do you think will happen in court? What exactly do you think will play out in court if you go to court right now? Because who will be presiding over the cases? Who will assign the cases to which judges, from tribunal to the appeal court to the Supreme Court? Who will assign the cases? And what would happen at it? In fact, that then will even tell you, Kukuma, go to court. Because they know that when you go to court, what will you see in court? Who are the people who preside over this case in court when you take the matter to court? That tells you that it is time that you took your destiny into your own hands and begin to prepare yourself towards matching your politicians aura for aura, might for might, thuggery for thuggery, election rigging for election rigging. Because if we continue this thing that we're doing, that we'll be shouting on social media and be shouting, oh, please, oh, it will not happen, oh, hey, they rigged the election against us today, oh, we rigged this. Lori wrong, it will not go anywhere. Because you must, let's see, one way that you can actually defeat an enemy is by understanding the Achilles heel of that enemy. And what is the Achilles heel of most of these politicians? Of course, talk with thievery, rigging, and all that. You can imagine a Shaibu accusing and Obaseki of using 73 million naira to rig election in his ward alone. 73 million naira to rig election in one area alone, in one, let's say it's a local government area. 73 million naira. You can imagine how much was allotted to rigging election in other parts or other local government areas in Edo State one by one. See the kind of money they're wasting, money that would have actually meant and brought about good development for the people of the state. That's what we waste in rigging election. And for those of you who even collect those monies in rigging, I hear that as much as 5,000, 15,000, 20,000, even 25,000 were given to some people to rig election. Times that money or divide that money by the number of days you have to suffer for the next 4 years in the hands of the new governor you voted in Edo State. That's when you will know, say, you go see Pepe clearly, because you go know, say, you just shot yourself in the leg by doing that. So, for me, I'm not surprised. The Labour Party saying that they would have won the election if not that it was rigged against them. If the election was free and fair, they would have won the election. Yes, you would have won the election, Labour Party, if the election was free and fair. But my dear brothers and sisters of Labour Party, election is not served a la carte. Power is not served a la carte. The president that you have now also told you that same statement. You can borrow leaf from that. Power is not served a la carte. You must snatch it, grab it, do something with it. That's what you should do. So don't just sit in your house and expect that, they must do this for us. So, we must do the right thing, and they start lamenting on social media. Lamentation on the streets of social media is not enough to win you actual votes during election. Staying abroad and crying and typing on social media in support, in favor, or against is not enough to win you actual votes. If I were you, all Nigerians in the diaspora, when it's time for election, we will come out, or perhaps we just march straight to the National Assembly and demand for a thorough electoral reform from the National Assembly. We could start with that. How about starting with this Fearless October protest, marching straight to the National Assembly and saying we need pure electoral reform, ensuring that all these discrepancies that we face in our electoral system, it's not faced anymore. For instance, why will, from time after time, INEC upload the different results in IREV, but another time, but the one they will read out to you is another thing entirely? Why should we continue like that in this country? And at the end of the day, we'll make noise about it, the opposition will make noise, and then it wears off, and they will receive and accept the status quo like that, and we move on. We'll wait for another election to complain again, and they'll do us the same thing again. We'll keep complaining like that. For how long do you continue like that? If you indeed want change in your country, for how long do you think we'll continue, going around the same circle over and over again? They said it's only a madman who will do the same thing over and over again and expect different change, a different change. We cannot continue like that. And I think that it's time most youths, I'm calling on you guys right now, join political parties, beat them to their games. Not to say that, the PDP is corrupt, the APC is corrupt, this is corrupt. Even if it means joining the APC party, go, join it and interrupt their internal politics. Maneuver them, join them. Sometimes you really need to rub on the mud for you to play with a pig, Sometimes you really need to do that, because we have tried all this gentleman method and we see that clearly it's not working for us. So if this gentleman method is not working for us, what is the next thing that we need to do? What is the most efficient and most, creative thing that we should do as a people in this country? Is it not to take the actions that we need to take? Take action. Do what we have to do. Because it's really very tiring for us to complain about this issue over and over again. You can imagine the kind of confession that Shaibu made. That he's happy. In fact, they were even singing. I don't want to believe that he's mocking God, that they're mocking. We are grateful. Oh Lord, we are grateful to God for the things that you want out of the mercy of God, or the things that you want by your own power. Hey, it's just that God is too merciful. You know, that's why that's why I said that we should be swearing in our politicians with Ogun, Shogo, all those Amadionha, all those strong gods. That's the only way we can get them to being truthful in this country, honestly speaking. So as it is right now, we must take the bull by the horn. We must ensure that we match our politicians strength to strength, or strength, strength for strength, for us to be able to get it right. If we don't, we'll continue lamenting over and over again. Shaibu saying that, oh, he's very happy that he's been vindicated, that Oshimole fought with everybody that brought him to power, everybody that supported him. He fought with, that Obaseki fought with everybody that brought him to power. The first tenor, that is Oshimole, and then fought with him and other people who helped him. He fought with everybody. At the end of the day, where is he today? In fact, as much as saying that, oh, there were about 10 of them or 9 of them that contested the primaries, and Obaseki fell out with almost all of them that contested the primaries. He's not in good terms with them. And that, where is he today? And then actually accusing his former principal of rigging election, or bringing out 73 million naira to rig election. You can imagine the kind of confession that a politician is making on a national television. That kind of confession. And guess what? EFCC will not call anybody. ICPC will not arrest anybody. Nobody will arrest. DSS will not wait on anybody to arrest. So with all of these allegations flying around, it just results to one thing. We must understand that we should take our destiny into our own hands. As I speak to you, a lot of Nigerians cannot eat food. It's not even a joke. I was on this live on Saturday when I was saying that the number of people who will vote for APC in this election, or who will support APC in this election, will tell the amount of seriousness that we have in this country. And as if I know, and as I said it, see the number of votes that they got, and I see the number of people defending this government. APC may not have done well. Sorry, PDP may not have done well in the state, but how about other options? Why not vent all your anger and support another party? I could remember in 2019 election when Wike was running for his second tenure, that he destabilized the APC in Rivers State at that time, that APC did not have a candidate because of the court case that he had. So Tonye Koo was not a candidate. The whole of APC came together and supported another party, a different party, a neutral man. That man was almost winning Wike in all the election before they suspended the collation of the results from Abuja. And then they now started again, the Wike now won. And then it was heard that, oh, perhaps Ijagaban helped him then at that time from Abuja. So that kind of thing is possible. If you think you're venting your anger, or anger against your sitting governor, for instance, Obaseki because he did not do well, must you vote for APC to express your anger? You can vote for another party. You can look for ANC. You can look for APC. Sorry, you can look for ADC. You can look for another party to vote for to vent your anger. Because as it stands now, you can imagine the statement your politicians are making, that the fact that Edo people voted APC shows that the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing very well. That the governance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing very well. That it shows the confidence the people generally in Nigeria have on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Are we not just being a joke to ourselves? When people cannot eat food, when people cannot afford basic meal to eat, Kwashoko has come back to stay. People cannot afford medication. And then you allow these politicians, have a say, or perhaps vindicate themselves from the punishment and suffering that are putting you through. I think we can do better. By the way, can join this conversation for the next 10 minutes. I think I have a little bit of time in the next 10 minutes to take your calls. If you want to call in to be part of the conversation, you can call me on 0817-029-4077, 0817-029-4077. That is 0817 0294077. It's only on WhatsApp you can get that number. So just call only on WhatsApp. WhatsApp call alone 0817 0294077. Let me quickly take through some of your messages. I see you guys. Thank you so much. Samuel Yekori says, sister, you are so pretty. I am watching you from Texas, USA, and I have subscribed to your channel and tapped the screen twice. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. If this is your first time joining me live, or perhaps just meeting me on social media at all, please kindly subscribe, and please turn on the notification button. As much as time allows me or permits me, I'll be going live from time to time every evening to look at some very salient conversations. Emmanuel Okoye, I see you say good presentation, Precious. Thank you so much. Cynthia Omaru Gieva says, good evening, Precious. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Cynthia, you must be from Benin Abi. How do you Edo State Abi? What's going on in your mind? What's your thought on the election in your state? Strict News Media says, greetings, my Precious. When is the show going to start with Barrister Darlington? In the next 20 minutes. I thought to quickly just do a quickie here with you guys before I go to join Barrister Darlington. It's his birthday today, and I'm sure you want to be part of the show. I have a surprise for him. Don't tell him. I have a surprise for him. I'll reveal the surprise on the show. And James Kovabua says, please tell PDP to do away with Wike that continue to work against his own political party. Forget about that. That's not ending anytime soon. Mama Obaseki says, good evening, Lady P. I hope they will listen. Revolution is the answer to Nigerian problem. Well, I'm not going to call for revolution so that they will not say it's me that called for it. Shawore is already calling for it. I hope people can listen to Shawore, because Shawore has said that no amount of arrests will stop the Fearless October protest from taking place. I think we need to do something to really show these people that we're really angry the way they're really knows. But unfortunately, it looks like some other African countries even have more, forgive me, I can say balls, yeah, because I'm not on public radio. So I think other African countries have more balls than we have. It'd be like, say, our liver not just day rich, so we're just joking. We're just joking. We're not even serious yet. And Cynthia America says, God is merciful, my sister. Not be smart, not be say God they merciful. Some people, the way they call God's name unnecessarily, he would have, dealt with them. Emma Albert says, Precious, how do you know if an election is fair? Of course, you should know if an election is fair. When the mind of the entire people see, how many times do people contest elections in most other countries? Elections have been held in different countries in recent times. In UK, election held. How many people did you see complain that the election in the UK was rigged? Yes, now, how many people did you see complain that the election in the UK was rigged? That's the question. You saw what transpired in the election in the UK. How many people complained that the election in the UK was rigged? In South Africa too, election was held. Yes, I know that there may not be a perfect election as it were, but we can have a perfect system or a near perfect system. But we have a situation where it's as if we're running around same circle over and over and over and over again. So this same shenanigan or stuff like this that happened in this election was exactly the excuses that INEC gave last election, and is exactly the excuse that they will give you in 2023. We don't even know how many of us will be alive to 2023 with the way this administration is dealing with us. So you don't know how many people will be alive to 2023. Imagine if people manage to survive the remaining 2.5 years or so of this administration, and then to now vote them in again for another 4 years. You can imagine the pain, the agony, the anguish that a lot of people will be going through. As I speak to you this October that school opened, a lot of families could not send their children to school this October. Families could not send their children to school this October. And if you keep voting for the same political party who put you in this mess, it's as if you're encouraging them that, you know what, on a punishment no reach, not gonna just beef them up and change gear inside, make them a bit more loud. We know they hear you well. That's what it means. The only genuine way to express your anger on policies that you think that are not working for you, or things that you think that are not going well for you, is through your votes. That's the genuine means. And when you express that through votes, and they see that, it's looking like it's different from other times. So, have you not seen a situation where you call results and people will say, we'll not go agree, not be waiting, we'll vote for this. And people will defend their votes. And then we begin, I think it's time that we started also seeking for transparency from INEC. I think we should even start by, writing an appeal against INEC on the way and manner they conduct election. It's not good enough that the INEC officials or the INEC has come out with a statement for the Edo State election to say that, the places where they notice, some kind of malpractice in election results, that they would probe it. After probing it, after saying you probe it, you still announce the winner. Why not hold on, withhold the announcement of a winner until you check all those intricacies, all those things, to be sure that the person whom you will announce a winner is indeed the real winner of the election? Why not wait? Why be in a hurry to go ahead and announce the winner first before going ahead to do your due diligence? I do remember very well during the collation of the presidential election in 2023, when Dino Melaye was arguing and saying that, no, that's not the result, And Mahmoud Yakubu was telling him, hold on. If you think you don't like the result, there are other ways to go about it. We'll call a panel, we'll check. He promised to constitute a panel that will go through the election and check the allegations and the thoughts and what the political party said. And with all that he said, what happened? Did they check? What's the result of that panel that was held, that was constituted to speak about this conversation? What was the result of what the panel said? So that's the point. So I thought that it would have been enlightened enough to begin to question the Mahmoud Yakubu that you said you were going to constitute a panel to check what happened, or the malpractices or the alleged malpractices that happened in the 2023 election. May we know the result of the panel? What is their statement? What did they say? What did they see in that panel? And how did they react to it? I thought we would have started by asking such questions. Those are things that is important for us to do so that we get it right in this country. If we don't hold these people accountable, we don't question them, we'll keep running around same circle. And it's very unfortunate, because is this the kind of country we want to live for our children? That's a question that me, I cannot answer. Is this the kind of country we want to live for our children? That's a question I cannot answer. So if we don't start to demand the right things from our government officials, and especially people that are put into position, then it will continue the way it is. And we'll continue to run around same circle. And God forbid, we'll end up making no headway at all. Oh, we'll come on social media now, start crying, oh, they do state election, or they. And the good thing is that Nigerians even have very short attention span. After crying about it for the next 1 or 2 weeks, now we'll move on to another conversation, and then we'll just forget about it. Oh, by the way, your vice president is in the United States, United Nations General Assembly. Maybe that conversation will just overtake matter. Maybe the fact that they're spending over $500,000 in their hotel bills and all that will just take over the conversation, and we'll forget about every other thing, and then that's a matter for another day. But how long do we continue like this? That's the question I did ask. How long? By the way, you can be part of you can contribute on the conversation if you want to call me live to air your thoughts. I really love to take your opinion and your thoughts on what you think about the Edo State election and the state of the nation generally. 0817-029-4077 is the number to call via WhatsApp. WhatsApp alone, 0817-029-4077 is the number to call via WhatsApp alone. Please just call that via WhatsApp. Go back to taking some of your reactions. Cynthia, I see you. Michael Obadi says, please, madam, please, we should stop praying for Nigeria. Wallahi, me, I don't believe in that prayer. Forgive me if I'm not patriotic enough, because I don't pray. Because I do not believe that it's prayer that took America to where it is. China is not a Christian country, for instance, and it is not prayer that kept China the way it is, that developed China the way it is today. Prayer did not develop Singapore. Prayer did not develop Malaysia. Prayer did not develop most countries. In fact, prayer did not make India what they are today. And we're almost taking over the world capital of poverty from them. Prayer did not do that. So I sincerely believe that prayer is not just the key. Isaac Akindeni says, good evening, Precious. I think something needs to happen for us to get our country to work. I agree with you. Something needs to happen. And then Michael says, please, you people should stop advising people to go and vote when we know that our votes don't count. No, you must vote. You must vote. I would advise you to go and vote. Albert says, I don't understand from printing voting in 2024. There is no electronic system in Nigeria. Perhaps that's some of the electoral reforms that we should be seeking for in the hands of our National Assembly members. What is their duty? What is their duty if they cannot implement diaspora voting, for instance? We should ask them these questions. And remember, I told you last week that INEC had said that quite a number of constituents are calling back, are appealing, applying to call back their constituent, their House of Rep members, their senators, even their governors. So you could start by threatening them, by calling them back if they do not do the right thing or defend your interests, which is what they should do, because they should do so. Sam says, Bola Tinubu, Gosola Kwabio, Nyesom Wike, or Shomali and Hope Uzodinma don't capture Nigeria. They don't capture Nigeria, and the Supreme Court justices and at the final Agbero at the top. Shosho says, Ondo is next. Of course, Ondo is next. PDP is already threatening in Ondo State that they shouldn't bring that regain, that they will do this, they will do that. But unfortunately, you know what? Loriro, at the end of the day, we'll just threaten and nothing will happen. You know why? Because they know us. They know that we can't do more than talking, venting on platforms of social media. That's all they know we can do. K. Aluko says, it does not work like that. The exercise must be completed regardless of any points raised during collation of results. That's what law says. I know that that's what the law says, but sometimes it's not about what the law says. For instance, even that 2023 election, when no. Imagine if people staged at the International Conference Center that day. There were lots of crowds saying that no, this is not what we voted. If you mean it, there was a true disruption, that down first instead of continue counting the results. That's what I thought. I'm not calling for people to protest. Just saying that perhaps that kind of thing happened. Perhaps all the Labour Party and the PDP members and all shouting that no, you can't continue calling this result. This is not what we voted for. No, this is not what we voted for. Are you telling me that result would have continued being called or announced? It wouldn't have continued. And I'm sure something would have been done. But unfortunately, we just let it sleep. And okay, this says, Kay says, okay, it doesn't work that way. That's what he said. Chinyere says, God is watching these politicians. It's not enough for God to watch them. You, what are you doing? These politicians are very heartless. Onye Query says, Precious, I will vote for you any day, anytime. Pastors, they cash out getting into politics anytime in my life. Uh, uh, okay, all right. Shosho says PDP and LP have senators and reps. Why aren't they asking for electoral reform? Call them back. He said until a rule to capture every state one is that nobody goes to jail. In this is that electoral malpractice is responsible for that kind of behavior and everyone around us on the need for them to be very part. I'll be with you again if possible. Turn on the notification button because by this time tomorrow we should have an extended time and extensive conversation on stuff that's affiliate evening. See you on the other side of the clock. Bye.